Hello, hello, students. So today we're going to be talking about multiple transformations. So this is where we transform a shape and then we just transform it again. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Okay, so let's go through this. So let's start with number 1. So we are going to translate this original triangle here. So when we translate that original triangle, I'm going to label it here. So the original triangle starts -2, 5. So there's A. And then -4, 4. Okay, so there's B. And then C is -2, 2. Is that right? Am I reading that right? -2, 5. Oh. I did not go up to 5 for A. Sorry, -2, 5 is A. That's B. And -2, 2 is C. Okay, so there's my triangle right there. There's my original triangle right there. Okay, so I have not transformed it at all yet. Next thing it asks me to do is translate it using the rule x plus 3, y minus 3. So again, when you add to the x, that just means right. And when you subtract to the y, that means down. So what it's really saying is it wants me to take these numbers and go right 3 and down 3. I could also just literally do that to each of these ordered pairs. Again, like so A prime is going to become 1 and 2. Because you'd add 3 to the x, subtract 3 to the y, and that would be your new point, right? B is going to become -1 and 1. And C prime is going to become 1 and -1. Okay? So again, if you just go right 3, 1, 2, 3, and down 3, 1, 2, 3, there's A prime right there at 1, 2, just like it's supposed to be, right? A prime. And then B, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, -1, 1 is what it's supposed to be. And C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, -1 is what it's supposed to be, right? So there's my first transformation. So I transformed it once. Okay? Then it wants me to dilate it by a scale of 3. So over here with these numbers that I just wrote down, I'm going to multiply them all by 3 to get my second transformation. So A prime prime. Each time you transform it, you add another prime symbol to it. Okay? And you just multiply these numbers by 3 to dilate it. So 1 times 3 is 3. And then 2 times 3 is 6. There's A prime prime. B prime prime is going to be -3, 3. And C prime prime is going to be 3, -3. Okay? So again, when I graph these, C is 3. So over here to 3, down to -3. There is C prime prime. And then A is 3 and 6. So clear up here is A prime prime. And then B is -3 and +3. So almost up here touching the original triangle is the new B prime prime. So when I connect all those points, they're going to overlap a little bit, which is fine. Here's all my new shapes and triangles. Okay? And this is the big one, is the final triangle. And these are going to be the points I want to put into Canvas or whatever, because that's my final answer. Those are my transform points that have been transformed twice, right? Are these prime primes. prime double primes, right? Okay. Let's try another one. So here we have our original triangle. So 3, 1. I'm just going to start by graphing it. 3, 1 is A, and B is 6, 1, and C is 5, negative 2. Oh, too far, right there. So there's my original triangle. So A, B, C. Don't forget to label. Okay. Then it wants me to reflect that triangle across the y-axis. So I'm reflecting across the y-axis here. So A is 1, 2, 3 spots away. So its new point is going to be 1, 2, 3 spots past it. There's A prime. B is 6 spots away. So its new one is going to be 6 spots past it. So there's B prime. And then C is 5 spots away. So it's going to be 5 spots past it. There's C prime. Just like that. There's my new triangle, just flipped across the y-axis. Okay. Then it's going to want me to rotate that 90 degrees counterclockwise. So counterclockwise is to the left. So if I take my page and rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise, that is right here, this second one with the prime symbols. That's going to be my new points, right? So, and I'm just going to write it right here, and I don't like trying to write sideways, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, A, B, C. So if this is now my y-axis and this is my x-axis, A is now at -1 and 1, 2, 3 down. So -1 and -3. And then B is going to be at -1 and -6. So -1 and -6 now for B. And C is going to be at 2 and -5. So 2 and -5. And that's my new coordinates right there. So if I come back around, these are my prime primes. Okay, so again, if I were to graph it, -1, -3 is A prime prime, -1, -6 is B prime prime, and then 2, -5 is C prime prime. There is my final triangle that has been rotated 90 degrees counterclockwise. Okay, and this would be like my answers that I would put into Canvas. Okay, and then let's do one last one here. Let's do number 5. So quadrilateral. So translate A, B, C, D. So let's look at, we're going to put the points down first. So A is at -2 and 6. And B is at 2, 6. C is at -2, 3. And D is at 2, 3. So this is A, this is B, this is C and D. So there's my original quadrilateral, kind of squarish, little rectangular-ish box there. Okay. Then the first thing it wants me to do is translate it by x plus 3, y minus 5. So that means 3 right, 5 down. Or again, I could just add those points. So add 3 to all the x's. I'm going to do that just so I have all the numbers here. Okay, so if I add 3 to -2, it would be 1. And if I minus 5 from 6, it would be 1. So 1, 1. And then B would be 1. And no, sorry. Add 3 would be 5. And then subtract 5, it would be 1. Okay, and then C would be 1 and -2. And D would be 5 and -2. Okay, so again, 3 right, 1, 2, 3, down 5. There is A prime. Okay, B is going to be right here. There's B prime, 3 right, 5 down. C is going to be right here. There's C prime. And D is going to be right there. There's D prime. So there's my new quadrilateral just shifted or slid on the graph. It's the same shape, right? It doesn't change, doesn't flip around or anything like that. Just slides on the graph. And then the last thing it wants me to do is rotate 90 degrees clockwise. So clockwise is moving it to the right, right? So we're going to move our paper to the right. And those are going to be my final points right here. So A, B, C, D, prime, 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 prime. Okay, and A is going to now be at 1 and -1. Right? Yeah. So 1, -1 would be my new points there. And then B is going to be at 1, -5. So 1, -5. Okay, C is going to be at -2, -1, -2, -1. Okay, and D is going to be at -2, -5. So -2 and -5. Okay, so these are my final answers right here. That's what it is going to end up being for all those points. But I'm going to, again, just to do what I'm supposed to, I'm going to graph it. Even though I can't put the graph in a canvas, we're going to be responsible and we're still going to do things. So 1 and -1 is going to become A prime. So 1, -1, A prime. Prime. And then B is 1, -5. So there's B prime prime. C is -2, -1. So C prime prime. And D is -2, -5. So there's D prime prime. So there is my final quadrilateral that has just been rotated 90 degrees, so it's kind of like on its side, and then just kind of shifted from there, rotated 90 degrees. Okay, all right, and again you'll notice like A moved a quadrant, B moved a quadrant, C moved a quadrant, D moved a quadrant. When you shift 90 degrees, it just moves from this quadrant to the next quadrant, right? Okay. If you have any questions or concerns, let us know. We're here to help. We want to help, and I will see you guys out there.